markets, guys. But I think one of the biggest things that I love to do, right, is always host this alongside with the next wave, right? Everybody drop next wave within the chat room. And that is what these next four individuals that I'm bringing up, this is what exactly what they are, right? Now, all of them, right, are either live traders that have been able to compound their account and withdraw a good size amount of money, right? And probably have been doing this from anywhere from a couple months to anywhere to a couple years even, to some of them being funded 100,000, or if you're Bavik, funded multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars and been getting paid out thousands of dollars already, right? So again, you're about to hear from four different people with four different experience levels within the markets. And the reason that we do this, it's not so much for me, it's not so much for them. Honestly, the reason that we do this is for you guys across the other side of the screen that are just looking for that next clicking moment. Because I don't know, many of you right here, probably you might be a couple weeks in, you might be a couple months in, even, or even a couple years in, and you might feel stuck. And you probably hopped on this call today just hoping to get unstuck, right? And that's what the goal is today. Now, all I'm going to ask of you guys, go ahead and type a one once you have a notebook ready, something to take notes on, guys, because you are going to need that. You are going to need that because I assure you, just knowing these four individuals, they're going to provide you with so much insane amounts of value, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start bringing up one by one. I see they have their cameras on already. The very first person who I did want to bring on is actually somebody who has been rocking with us now for the past 2 years, right? Somebody has been rocking with us now for the past 2 years. He's out there from Modesto, California, right? And when he came in, he was one of the most studious people. Actually, what's so common about all these four individuals is that they're all studious, right? But this person in particular came in, and y'all know him as the trading addict, right? The trading addict, the one that just like sleeps with the charts, dreams of the charts, right? Wakes up to the charts, right? And goes to the restroom with the charts. But it paid off. Paid off, right? He's now funded multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, has gotten paid out multiple five figures in just payouts alone, in just different firms, right? And not only that, but he has even took it a step further and said, you know what, I want my own range of students, and he does lead a movement over there and is one of the founders of the movements out there in Modesto, California. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the man himself, Bavik. What's good, brother?
What's good, everyone? Appreciate you, Junior. Hope everyone's doing blessed. Excited to be on here. It's always a pleasure to be able to share my experience. And at the end of the day, our goal is just to help cut the learning curve so that you guys are able to see certain results, hopefully at a much sooner pace rather than go through all the mistakes that we had to go through.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Now, the next person that I want to go ahead and bring up is actually a student of Bobik's, right? It's crazy. It's crazy what happens, right? You become like a very good student, and then you have people that you then mentor, and then they start to pretty much gradually create the same results that you've created. Now, this person in particular just came in a couple months ago. This is somebody that's out there in Modesto, California as well. Okay, you could say that Modesto's creating some noise, you know. But the biggest thing is that this woman that actually came in, she came in the business. She knew exactly what she wanted. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she got it, right? She just came back from a trip from Puerto Rico. She went to the whole one of the few people in Powerhouse that actually went to the entire VIP experience that Mike Navarrete and Nancy Aguilera hosted. And she got major clicking moments out of there. And right before that, and even after that, she's been consistently making profits from literally just plugging in, literally, and consistently making withdrawals. Y'all been seeing her flex within the chat rooms, right? And she's only been in for, again, just a couple months. I would probably say even 6 months at this point, right? But with that being said, Angie, are you there?
Yes, I am. What is up, guys? I actually want to thank literally Bhavik, Mary, Miguel Jr. I would not be having the podcast that I've been having without them. And honestly, I'm just a student. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a student.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate you. Now, for the third speaker that we have going on today, is actually somebody that I brought in myself about like 3.5 years ago. I would say it's been some time. It's crazy. My man's been rocking with me for quite a while, and I remember when he came in. He's actually from Dallas, Texas. Well, actually from Arlington, but that's another story. But he actually was one of the most studious people out here in the area as well. Always continually asking me questions, always like literally right next to me, like, yo, what is it that I can do better? Literally, whenever there was trainings going on in person, he was the first one there, the last one out at each and every single time. And I think that the biggest thing that I can say about this person is from the start he started learning not for himself, but to teach others on how they can do it in a much simpler way, right? But I always say if you get enough people to where it is that they want to be at in life, eventually you'll get the results that you want yourself. And that's exactly what has happened to Kevin Alonso. So, what's up, Kevin? You there?
Yeah, what's up? I'm here. Yeah, so I'm Kevin. Not gonna glaze myself too much. I'm just a student, a product of Powerhouse. We've really done a lot for the community. I've seen how Junior has pretty much made from scratch like a whole system and everything like that. And this team really is like made by the people and for the people. So I can honestly say like I came into this with like no type of experience with entrepreneurship at all. And then, I mean, you can ask Junior. One of my first questions for him was like, "What is the CVC number on the back of a card?" Because I didn't even have like a bank account, you know. And then like at 18 years old, just developing to 21, like learning just so many different things. And he's honestly been like a huge factor. Well, honestly, not just Junior, but Junior created leaders, right? And all of the powerhouse leadership is the reason why I have the success and I'm able to like pretty much show other people like what I know, and honestly like I'm truly grateful for it. But yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Now for last but not least, right? We got somebody on the line that has been in also a couple months. So you see that we got people in here that I've already been in for 2 years, another one that's been in for 3, someone that's been in for under 6. We got another one that has been here pretty much under that 6-month mark as well, under that 1 year mark here within Powerhouse. And this is actually the person that's representing Arizona as well. This is somebody who just got funded over $100,000 as well within the platform, and is somebody that from day one I could tell. Like I remember at convention in the AZ convention, this was the one person that I can tell you that standed out from many others because he pulled me to the side and he asked me so many questions and he told me he's like, bro, Junior, you gotta watch out. I'm coming. I know I just came in a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, but bro, I just want to let you know that I'm here for the long run. I see what you guys have here, and trust me, I'm gonna make it happen. And sure enough, months later, guys, he made it happen, and now he's here rocking with us. So, what's up, Jack? Are you there?
Yo, what's up, guys? Yo,
What's
where's AZ at? Hold on, type in the chat real quick. Where we
up?
at? Gotta make sure everyone's plugged in for AZ. But what's up? I want to say I'm very thankful, right? Convention was like my second ever month of being in Powerhouse, but I remember all the way back in what was it, February, I slid up on someone's story who's not here anymore, but you know, I always wanted like a path and something I can, apply my discipline, for months on end. I always thought like I was gonna be something special. Like I always thought like I'm destined for something bigger. I was in college, I was doing all this stuff that wasn't fulfilling me, but I remember I was just praying about it, keeping God close, and here I am now. And I made a commitment. I said I was going to get funded. I had a 25K funded, then I lost it. But I said, you know what? I need to just drop my ego. I need to sacrifice the fact that I don't really know anything because I've only been in for 4 months at that point. Then I came back and then quadrupled it. So Love
Let's
y'all.
get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Well, guys, let's get straight into it. I hope each and every single one of you are ready for today's session. And by the way, none of the people who I brought to you guys today, none of them know actually the questions I'm even gonna ask them. Some of them try to text me beforehand and we're like, hey, I'm not trying to be sneaky, but what questions are you gonna ask me? That way I get prepared a little bit. But you see, I don't roll like that. So they don't even know what's coming. They don't know what's coming to them, right? So again, this is raw footage for each and every single one of you. But again, I do know pretty much all of these individuals very well, to the point where I know where a lot of them commence within their journey. And I know that there's something in here that can pretty much be shared out to each and every single one of you that will help. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the boy Bhavik. So Bhavik, I got a question for you, bro. Now it's flipped, right? It's usually you asking the questions, so this feels great,
Let's run it.
But now with you, Bhavik, you had and I know and you can obviously go into this as well yourself whenever it's your turn and stuff like that, but you had a troubling past coming into this as well. Like when you came in, you wanted to make this work straight off the bat. You came in with hunger. You literally were putting in as much hours as you could. And by the way, Bhavik goes to, he's a full-time student, right? And then he also works on top of that, right? And is handling different things on the back end and still making this work, runs up this business, and as well as he's trying to be a successful trader and everything, so he's doing everything he possibly can, right, and to go ahead and put his family ahead, right? And I could tell whenever he came in, I mean, he had those goals, those aspirations, and he was destined to make it happen. But the thing is that your first year especially, you went through a lot of trials and tribulations, right? So go ahead, talk about some of the trials and tribulations you went through your first year, honestly, bro, like because a lot of these people are within their first year, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, it's a great question because I think a lot of people could relate. So I come from a background where traditional, I think most people are told go to high school, I mean after high school, go to college, get a job, and so forth, work for the rest of your life. And I was on that path. Don't get me wrong, I'm still finishing up my career because I started it. I'll finish it. I like what I do. But I definitely prefer trading a lot more. Uh, so basically, it was challenging my paradigm. If you guys listen to Alex Morton a lot, we talk about paradigm shifts. And I was going completely the opposite way, but I knew I was meant to do something like this. And I always had support from my family, which I was fortunate, but there were times where it's, man, you've been doing it for a while. When are we going to start seeing results? And I was coming to a point where I was seeing consistent results, and it started getting frustrating. I never doubted that trading doesn't work because I definitely saw some small results, but not to the point where, man, I'm in it for a year now. Why am I not withdrawing multiple four figures or even at least five figures? And I can understand how you can be in it for maybe 3, 4 months and not see any results because we're always so used to things happening instantly. But with trading, you have to realize it's a very delayed gratification. And fortunately, this year I was able to finally bear witness the fruits of my labor of getting definitely multiple X back on my investment for sure. But as you guys go through your trading journey, you're gonna experience moments where you're gonna feel as if, oh, I'm finally getting this, and everything's going good for maybe a couple of weeks or so, and then all of a sudden you hit like a week where you're just losing, or even a month. And I know some educators I've spoken to privately where they said they've gone on a month or 2 month or even a bad quarter. And what I realized over time was 1 week, 1 month doesn't really dictate your journey because you're in a skill set that you can use for the long run. You can be anywhere in the world and be able to print money from your phone. We make it sound easy, but in reality, it is the trading's the easiest, hardest thing you'll ever do. Initially, it may feel like it's a pain to learn. After that, it's just simple. And as you guys go on your journey, you're gonna have people doubt you. People say, "Why are you doing this? It's a scam. It doesn't work." just tune it out. The best thing that I could have ever done was surround myself around Powerhouse community, around the educators. I remember, I think all of us have been to some VIP experience with Mike and Nancy. So last year when I was about to walk away almost at a point, I went to VIP experience. I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Um, I always look up to Mike and Nancy, and I was able to get some questions answered. Junior was there, Miguel was there, so they know the type of conversations we had. And had I not gone through that and reached out to the people that have already gone through the similar path, I probably would not be where I'm at. And definitely glad I did that. So if you guys are ever encountered by doubters, just stay focused. Your path is meant to be different from everyone else. Otherwise, we would all be doing the same thing. We'll be robots, essentially. We're not meant to do that. It's a $1 trillion market. Even if you get a very small piece, that's okay. But just don't give up. At the end of the day, show up each and every day. You don't have to always be in the charts, but you always have to show up, at least be in student mode. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And it's kind of crazy because there is that saying that God or the universe will test you right before your biggest breakthrough. And you know, Bhavik had his biggest breakthrough within his trading, like literally shortly right after that experience. You know, so right whenever many people would fold, he stuck around. And rather than playing the victim, he was like, well, let me fix this. Let me fix what I can control. And he fixed it, and boom, clicking moment. And then fast forward to now, I mean, he's just a completely different person. Now, with Angie in particularly, she's been in now for the past, I would probably say like 6 months, right? Um, right over it, you know, you could say.
Yeah, 6 months. I
Cool.
started January.
Okay, awesome. And you came in this running. You know, you came in this running, you came in this excited, but also confused at the same time. You know, you were like, yo, this is a lot to learn. This is a lot of charts, you know, and I seen the change, honestly. I seen the change happen within your journey. I would probably say like 2 months ago. You know, I saw it from afar. Talk about that change that happened, because I always say there's two different days within this. There's the day that you join, right? And then there's a day that you're like, you make the decision to make this work, right? And I could tell that you made that shift. You made that shift a couple months ago. So talk about that shift. I mean, what was that like for you?
I would say that what really helped me was continuously going to these events that were provided. Definitely just continuously going. You know, maybe the first one wasn't gonna stick, but eventually one of them did. So that made me shift my mindset, as well as I never gave up. You know, I feel like I'm I'm pretty sure if I could learn the skill set, anyone can, because I personally believe that I'm very slow when it comes to learning new things. So the fact that I was able to do it makes me think that, bro, like I think anyone can do this. I honestly believe that if you just stick to your ground and continue and don't give up, don't listen to the people that say, oh, you're gonna get scammed, oh, you're in the pyramid scheme. No, you know, you just have to keep going, keep going. Obviously, listen to the people that know most. I know at the beginning, I used to be like, oh, why would they say that? Like, maybe I think it's this way. And obviously, that doesn't work out. You always have to listen to the people that already have the results, people that have been through it. Because yet again, you guys are cutting that learning curve for us. And ever since then, I've just been a student. I've been applying everything that all my mentors have been teaching me, and it's been working. And I'm honestly so blessed to even be part of you guys, and I will forever be thankful.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Extremely proud of you, Angie. You know, I mean, she definitely has been showing up. I mean, by the way, like even this week we have a workshop going on in California, and you know, she's driving out like 4 or 5 hours just to make it there as well. So, again, many people, you know, they might have a workshop or something going on in their area, which is only an hour away or less, and many people don't make it, which is why they also don't make it in this. But you know, there's people that will go out of their way and say, you know what, Like, I know this is 4 hours. I know this is 5 hours. I know I might have every excuse in the world that a normal person would have, but you know what? I'm gonna make it happen because I know what the utter result is if I don't go, which is nothing, but I don't know what's on the other side of me actually showing up and being consistent is, right? So proud of you. Now with Kevin, what's unique about Kevin is Kevin's actually been doing this a lot longer than everybody in here. And he started doing this actually at a fairly young age. It's crazy now that I mean he's 21, you know, so my boy got facial hair now going on, right? I met him with no facial hair. But when I met Kevin, he didn't come in with that mindset of you could say like many people his age, like at because you know many people coming in at 18, they are usually like very money hungry, right? And they're like, I need to make paper tomorrow, right? And Kevin in particular, he was like, look, bro, like I know this is gonna take time. He talked to me. He's like, "Yeah, I know this is gonna take time, Junior. I just want to make sure that I'm rocking with the right people. I just want to make sure that I'm learning from the right people because I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I just want to know that I'm in the right place." Right? So go over that mindset, Kevin, because I think that's very unique. But I think that if everybody really had that mindset, more people would be successful, bro. So, I mean, go over that mindset of you like coming into this, like, and how has all
Yeah.
that developed you into pretty much where you're at right now?
Okay, I got you. So in all reality, you have to pretty much be done being still, like being still in the same situation, being around people who are still complaining about their problems. And like pretty much once you get to that threshold where you're like, you know, nothing is changing, let me go ahead and like learn something, do different, surround myself with different people who have more than me, who know more than me. So it's like at a very young age, I knew that like best way I can describe it is an existential crisis, as in I understood that, you know, I understand we're God's highest form of creation, and we are not necessarily just here to build someone else's dream. But it messed with me since a very young age that, you know, everyone is just pretty much programmed to just go to school, get a job, retire, and then have a house, you know, like a car, and then maybe have a family, and then that's the definition of like a happy life and everything. So I understood that wasn't for me. And my main thing was like, I'm not someone that will settle, right? Maybe that's cool for other people, but I understand that my family, my friends, my community, like my people that I don't even know yet, like those are the people that I need to pretty much learn for, and we each have a purpose. So I started networking very early, and that is the only reason why by the age of 18 I stumbled upon Junior's Instagram specifically, and I had a mindset that, you know, like there's a lot of traders, you know, a lot of people have money, a lot of people can post their gains on the account. But the thing about Junior is, what caught my attention is not only was he posting his gains, he was posting other people's gains, and they were like eating too, and they were like independent traders, and it was a community where it was just full of growth and everything like that. So what I would say is you pretty much have to understand that we are in a world where I'm gonna go back a little bit into history, where the whole educational system, it was never meant to pretty much make you excel in life. It was meant to pretty much keep you as a worker. Rockefeller, the family who pretty much made education and schooling, right? What he specifically said, and it's quoted, and you can search it up, the Rockefeller family, what he said is he wants a nation full of workers and not thinkers. Because if people were to know what was happening, there would be a revolution tomorrow. So what that actually means is right now, the world is not cruel, the world is not evil. What's happening is there's an education issue. And a lot of people need to get educated. And once people understand that this is more than just money, like we have a bigger purpose and we're here to connect and pretty much like impact lives, like, you know, being God's highest form of creation, like you can move a little bit different, and you'll have like, you won't be thinking for cash like value, you'll be thinking in decades, right? And once you could get to like that mindset, this like you'll find people like Junior. Because like something that I learned from Junior, he said that if we don't get paid by the hour, but we get paid by how much value we bring to the hour. So if you want to get paid more money, you have to become more valuable. And if you become more valuable, then you attract more valuable people. That's just how it works. So no one talks about, like, before I even came into Powerhouse, like a whole year of just 80 hours a week, every week on YouTube, just stuffing my mind with stuff, just trying to figure it out and understanding the true value of guidance. And like, honestly, I'm grateful, but I would say just like keep a entrepreneurial spirit. Come into this understanding that you don't know everything, because um I know Junior knows, like, I used to have like a little ego, like, just because I knew a lot of a lot, that doesn't mean that it pretty much turned it, like, that doesn't mean I was making a lot of money, had the results, or I was even like mature and everything. And that's why, like, I matured to the point that, like, I understand that you have to be confident enough to know that if you lose everything, you can get it right back, but humble enough to know you can't do it by yourself. And honestly, if it wasn't for people like Junior, Neri, Gio, Tony, like Vinny, Will, if it wasn't for people like that keeping me accountable and showing me that how selfless they are to go out of their way to pretty much provide value for people every single day, and understanding the true vision of what they do and why they do. Because just to be real with you, my first day with Junior, when he pretty much put me on and everything, like, what he quoted was something that I said 3 years back. Literally, I told him, like, not like, bro, like, I'm down, like, whatever, however much it costs. Like, and I brought him cash and everything. I brought him cash. I didn't even have like a bank account. So I was like, okay, like, what's the move? But like, the thing is that, like, I told him, like, my main thing is I just want to make sure I'm rocking with the right people. I give him a whole interrogation, like, why do you do this? Like, why is it that you help other people? And like, I'll go ahead and answer it, like, because I'll go ahead and say what he said. He was like, just being in a situation, because I asked him, like, why do you like go out of your way to help people? And then he told me, he was like, well, a couple years back, and I'm assuming he was talking about Miguel, but I didn't know back then. But he said there was a guy in Mexico, right? And over there, like, the United States is really privileged. I was like, okay, like, I understand. And then I was like, why? But why do you say that? He was like, well, the reason why I say that is because a lot of people here think they have options and think they have money and think they have time and think they know everything. But over there, people are super hungry. And I had someone pretty much come up to me, like, what we were able to do is we were able to make people in Mexico $50, $100 a day. Over here, that would be like, okay, whatever, like, that's not like a lot of money. But over there, you are quite literally like quadrupling or 5xing someone's monthly income. So it's actually life changing. So they actually take it for the actual value that it is and plug the fuck in. And what happened is, he told me that he realized that he wanted to actually make, like, he wanted to pretty much devote his time into developing other people and helping other people, was the moment when this guy pretty much came up to him. I'm not sure if it was Miguel, but I think it is. Came up to him and told him, like, thank you so much for the opportunity, and was crying and telling him that no one had ever pretty much given him like an opportunity like that. And then for you to pretty much be up here and come down here, like, to the bottom and help me, like, it just means everything. So at that moment, I knew I was rocking with the right people. At that moment, I knew I was rocking with the right people. They're going crazy in the comments, so that's why I'm laughing. But like, that's all I would say is, like, you have to know who you're rocking with, what is their vision, what is their dream. And if you can ask them that, then you'll definitely know like a little bit about what they know, how they know that, and then if you're even should it like pretty much like be getting into like what you're getting into. So do your research, but if it makes sense, it makes sense, and take a risk, because life is risky. We're gonna die anyways. And then that would be everything that I would have to say.
Love that, bro. I think the biggest thing that you possibly honestly like gave away as well was honestly as well like the awareness of the entire system and how everything pretty much also works on the back end, and that also gives you the longevity run vision overall into why it is that you're doing this to begin with. And I feel like that's something that you had notched down from the beginning. You had the why into this deeper than just money, and I feel like a lot of people that don't last within the industry, their why is just money. Their why is like, I just want to make $10 tomorrow or today, and you had a long lasting why, which is, I mean, no question until why you have the results that you have now and why you're going to keep progressing forward now. With Jack's been doing this as well for 6 months now. And the biggest thing about Jack, and it's kind of crazy to think about it actually, because I remember when you actually came in, and then I remember whenever we met in about March or February, I'm not quite sure which month it was, but I remember when we met, it's crazy because you actually hadn't even yet got started taking trading seriously. You know, like Jack had came in and it wasn't like he went ham into trading immediately. No. You know, he was along the lines of like, hey, I just want to develop myself first. I want to develop myself first. I want to see what I really want to get myself into. And I noticed the shift at the VIP experience, which is actually what every single one of these people have in common, is that they've all gotten into these VIP experiences with higher level individuals, myself, Mike, Nancy, etc. But I saw the shift within your trading right there. I think that that's whenever I saw like everything kind of make sense, because I saw how passionate you were when stuff really started to make sense. Because I think you were pretty much, it felt like almost like you were stuck between like making a decision to go all into this, to go all into that. And it felt like that day you made that decision, and just right after that, honestly, a couple of months later, you just ended up getting funded like 25 and then 100K. You know, so talk about that shift, bro. I mean, what is it that happened during that time, bro?
Sheesh, I appreciate it, bro. Um, yeah, I think I met you back end of February, beginning of March, but I remember I just clicked with you instantly, right? You showed up. I forgot why. I think it was like preparing for the April launch of the conventions while you were there and stuff. Um, but we met and it was really like genuine because like I haven't my background from the people I grew up with aren't anyone like in Powerhouse, right? Like I grew up with kids that just party all the time, do drugs all the time, and they're okay with sacrificing their 20s to go all the way make it up back in their 60s, and I was always the outcast in the group. And I remember what really clicked for me was it was messed up, but they all went on a trip without me, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I understood I'm not accepted in this community. Why don't I go find something better, more self-fulfilling for myself, for the people that I need to be around? And then not long after, I think a month after, I got into Powerhouse, and I wanted to personally develop myself because I've said this before, but I don't want to ever get too deep into personal stuff or anything, but the entire summer of 2023, I was actually in a suicide program, right? I did attempt to take my life twice, right? I grew up very toxic relationship with my brother, very disordered conduct happening around my situation when I was growing up. But I remember the reason why I got into personal development is because I wanted to escape that situation, escape that mindset I was in for so long. Like I would desperately was trying to get out, desperately praying to get out of that. And I remember when the VIP experience came, I was like, there's more to, this whole experience than just personal development, right? I wanted to start making money. I mean, everyone wants to make money, right? But like I wanted to understand and see my dad's point of view of he's going to work 80 hours a week, slaving away, having to go out of town, fly to Colorado, go fly to California every other week, trying to do all this. And I'm like, this is the life I don't want to live. I don't want to live until I'm 80, still working a job. So yeah, I think it really just clicked when I met you. And then when I got that first funded account, I'm like, okay, well, I underestimated what I could really do if I just plug in, right? Because at the end of the day, you get paid if it makes sense and makes money. I don't do trend trap anymore, but that's from AWOL. But yeah, it just really plugged in for me. And I'm just grateful to be here, honestly. Like from if you met me a year ago, you couldn't recognize me as the person that I'm becoming now. So honestly, if you just plug in and just don't give up, I mean that's the biggest key you can take away in general, right? You can't fail if you don't quit. I mean the only way you lose is if you quit. So
No, yeah, 100%. And I think that's the beautiful thing about trading. It's it's crazy that like you get more than what you're seeking. You know, like we come into this to just make, like we have this ideology of like, I just want to make six figures. I want to make $1 million, multiple millions of dollars, but we don't realize that we do have to become a different person to achieve that. So the beauty is not even on the destination, but it's in the process, the process of who you're becoming throughout the process, so amazing growth. Appreciate the testimony. Now this question goes to actually all of you, so it's pretty much the same question for each and every single one of you, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Bhavik. So many people within the industry, especially coming in, I feel like they get very stuck in the technicals, or sometimes in the psychological part of trading, but I mean, every single one of you as well had a different clicking moment, I would assume, in order to get the results that you have right now. So what was that? And if you guys can share, what was that clicking moment for you that once you applied it, then you started to see profitability, and then you got funded, or for those of you, you started seeing consistent profits within your life? What was that one shifting moment that happened within your journey, Bhavik?
Honestly, for me, I think it was getting tired of blowing accounts, that rushing the process. Because I honestly, you guys know, passing accounts is, for me, you guys will see I do it often. Not to brag, but like passing wasn't the technical wasn't the issue. It was the more the patience issue side of it. And what I had to realize was, and this kind of goes back to what Junior was saying about how trading brings out a different side of you. At one point, I wasn't the person deserving to get those 5-figure withdrawals because I didn't become that person yet. So when I realized like there's certain habits I need to change, even in my own personal life, that directly reflected back into my trading, because trading and your personal life hand in hand, 100% similar. There is so much back and forth comparison that goes on. So when I had to make some adjustments in my personal life and realize that I just need to be patient and the money will come, things just started working out for me. So it was that patience and just not rushing the process, honestly.
100%, 100%. Now, Angie, what was yours?
I think for me, I I didn't start trading right away from the beginning because I don't know why I was scared. I was like, bro, this looks crazy. Like these are just a bunch of random charts. How am I supposed to know if it goes up or down? And my mentor Bobik over here blowing accounts, and I was like, hey, what if that's me? So I was like, man, like how should I do this? Like I low-key didn't have faith in myself. And that's the one thing that I feel like has always stopped me in the way. I don't have faith in myself at the beginning. And then I'm like, you know what? I could do it. Like, who do you think I am? I could do it. And then obviously I asked a trillion questions. I was like, okay, what happens when you do this? What happens when you do that? You know, um, for me, what shifted my perspective on trading and seeing results was trusting myself and knowing that if I followed every single rule that I have, that it was gonna maybe go my way. Because you never know. The markets aren't 100% correct. You could always lose your money. You could always get money. You never know. But I knew that I was winning by following my rules. I know that um, even if my account grew by 1%, that's good. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to look at the bigger picture, and I was like, you know what? I may fail, but I know that if I keep going and I keep practicing and I keep going and going and going, I know that in the long run, it's gonna benefit me, and I'm gonna be able to retire my dad, retire my family. That's really what keeps me pushing, is knowing that I want more for my family right now and my future family, and I'm gonna get there.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Kevin,
Can you repeat the question?
I knew it. There's always that one person. There's always that one.
I know you know.
I was just waiting. I was like, it's gonna come eventually. It was either you or Jack at this point.
I got you, Jack.
But it's pretty much like, what was the shifting moment within your trading? Whether it was a technical or a psychological thing, something on the back end, maybe your management. Like, what was the
Yeah.
thing that made you like shift from not being profitable to starting to see your first few profits into where you're at now as well?
Yeah, so when it comes down to like being profitable, I will say that the only two people that I've really heard like teach this would be yourself Junior, and Mike Navarrete. So pretty much y'all talk about something that's like you could be like diving deep into like technical analysis all day, but if you don't have cash flow, you're gonna be worried about the money that you're putting in your trading account, and that's something that a lot of people skip over. Like I'm telling you, people put 90% of their efforts into technical, but they forget about how many ways of income am I getting, and how am I pretty much putting that into my trading account, and how am I diversifying that money? What am I doing with that trading money? Am I putting it into a business? Is that business not bringing me money that I'm able to put back into trading? Can I put this on repeat? Can I duplicate it? And like that's what a lot of people miss. Like it's not just about trading. Like trading, like to be a trader is to be a student forever. That's what like people like I guess miss. You will never learn trading. You will always be developing, you will be profitable, and it will be one of the most worthwhile things because I mean, while we're making bands 4 or 5, there's been a couple people in Powerhouse to make 6 figures, right? But off of trading. But what that means is like there's on the other side, institutional levels, people are making billions a second, billions a minute, right? So understand that you don't know everything. And once I pretty much understood that like this is not money that I'm making. This is like it's a game of like capitalizing on pips, right? And if you can understand and take like put the respect back to your money, put the respect back to your efforts, and pretty much treat it like a business and treat it like just numbers and percentages and forget about the money, then the money will come. So it's like that's one thing that I would say that like kind of like changed everything for me because I've passed multiple hundreds account 100K accounts. I even passed a 400K account, and like I would fail them when I would reach the live phase. And like I would keep like a lot of this stuff to myself, but I mean I'm sure a lot of people notice when I'm like making like thousands on an account and then like where the withdrawal. So like I guess I took that, and I will stand on this, and I see why Junior says it, but a live account and making your money work for you is pretty much always going to be a lot better than like a funded account. And just understand that this skill set is pretty much learning how to like make your money work for you and being able to print money. So it's like treat it like a business. Don't be like, oh, I made $100. Be like, oh, I made like 3% today, right? I should stop because what's the probability that I could duplicate that again without actually like eating into my actual profit. So it's like I said, once you treat it more like a business and you truly understand a lot more than just technicals, and you're having like different streams of income to put into your trading account, and now like it doesn't really matter to you if you lose this trade or you win this trade. Now it's about actually following your plan. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Fire, fire. Cash flow is always king, so appreciate you for sharing that. And finally, Jack.
I say my biggest clicking moment was understanding from the VIP experience was, your ego is your biggest enemy. The only way you can ever get in front of your goals is yourself, right? No one can come grab your phone and delete your account, or no one can come take away the skill that you learned. The only reason you get paid at the end of the day is yourself, but the only reason you also stay in the game is yourself. So I understood, the root of being a good trader, the root of being a good business builder, or whatever it is just reality is just yourself. You have to get comfortable with allowing yourself to go through a healing process, right? Everyone has stuff they have to go through. Everyone has trauma or whatever things want to, whatever you want to claim it as it is, you just have to understand at the end of the day, it just comes down to you. Um, and with just getting funded, it's just a lot of patience. I mean, I know I've watched like a lot of people in AZ, like, right, because I've been reached out to a lot, got 100K funded, so I had a lot of people reach out to me, and I just set up some calls with people, and I just understood a lot of it is just from the psychological side. Like I could look at someone's chart and I'm like, this is a beautiful like buy on gold, right? But it's either they're holding too long or they're taking out too early. But like at the end of the day, it's just from my perspective of what I've seen from people, it's just themselves. And also rubbing Geo's bald head when you want to trade, it gives you good luck. I'm telling you, bro. I had the biggest trade of my entire life when I rubbed Geo's head. So just saying.
Oh my God. This is gonna be like a public video, and then like people are just gonna be like, who's that bald-headed guy? So like I guess Geo is gonna be well known publicly. Um Appreciate you for that. So This is my last question, and it goes towards each and every single one of you. And we're gonna start reverse. So we're gonna start off with Jack first, and we're gonna end it off with Bavik. Now, all of you, like I said from the very beginning, all of you are that next wave. All of you in here are still not yet like doing this full-time key thing yet. But you guys are definitely the next and upcoming traders within the entire community that will be doing this full time, that will be able to eventually as well not only retire yourself, but retire your own family. And I think that's honestly the most beautiful thing about it is all of you get to witness greatness. You guys are learning from people right here, within this podcast that are within that process. So you are seeing it pretty much in that halfway point, where you can pretty much learn from them just honestly just by seeing them. So my question for each and every single one of you, since all of you in here, you have things going on, whether you're going to school, whether you have a job, some of you have multiple jobs, some of you are even self-employed here as well, got your own thing going on. But again, you're all handling different things, just like all the people that are watching this from the other end as well. So what's the biggest key advice that you can give to anybody that is within their first year or just got commenced within their journey? And then we'll start off with you, Jack, and we'll go Kevin, Angie, and then finally Bobik.
Say the biggest thing you could prevent early on is just stop expecting you're gonna make 10 grand in a month. I mean, you would see it on Instagram. You see some guys like order filled, and he like hits a trade for 6 bands. But it's like if you look at his trade, he's just like is on one candle. He just risked his whole account on the candle. But like at the end of the day, you don't need to rush the fact that you need money now or rush the skill of like, well, I need 100 bands at the end of the year because I'm trying to get rich in my 20s. You have 10 years if you're going to get rich in your 20s. Like say if you start at 20, you have 10 years. So, you overestimate what you can do in a year, but then you underestimate what you can do in 5 years. So if you just kind of understand the fact that I don't need to get this money now, that's why I blew my 25K. I was up 2K on that account, and I'm like, all right, let's make it to 5K. And then, I lost my daily limit because, I didn't follow my rules. So if you just follow your rules, and just really understand that this is a long-term game. If you're here for 10 years, you're going to be here for 10 years. But if you expect a quick payout and think you're going to magically make $5 million in a year, I mean, I don't know. I'll see you at Subway making my sandwich. So.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Kevin.
How's it going? So I would say my biggest tip for someone, you said within their first year specifically?
Yeah, they just got started.
Okay, so let's say you just got started and you're like, man, we're gonna be rich today. Cause I know someone that their first day, they didn't even finish the basics. And then I think he put like $1,000 or $500 in his live account. And then like he blew it in one trade and he was like, bro, that was lit. If I could lose money that fast, imagine how quick I could make it. And he put money back in his account. And I was like, so one thing to like bounce off of Jack is like, one, have realistic expectations. Like, bro, can we make money? Duh, like we print it, but like you have to be methodical. You have to have confirmations to why you're doing what you're doing. And that way, like you actually have a system, like, and if you can have a system, then you can be duplicatable and it's not just gambling. It has to be a calculated risk, like everything. And I would also say, like, I am super heavy on the cash flow part, like for real. And I would say, like, if you don't want to like get another job because you're already working full time 60 hours a week, I would say do something that, remember what I said, I'm like, if you want to get paid more, then you have to become more valuable. So I would definitely suggest sales. Like the whole reason I got into like sales and everything is because of Powerhouse, and we're actually hiring. So it's like, if you want extra income, I would definitely suggest like reaching out to Junior or any of the partners to see what ways you can make extra money, because we're all like entrepreneurs. Many of us have businesses, our own side hustles. So you're in a community full of entrepreneurs. So don't just worry about the trading, like network, figure out what ways you can make more money. So that's because, think about it like this: instead of trying to make, $100 account and flip it by 10,000%, like let's just say you had 10 bands in the account, and now you're making that same, 100 a day, but now you're just making like 1% of the account. So it's like, what's harder? you know, flipping your account multiple times, or just getting more capital and then making a more consistent income. So I would say, like, learn more valuable skill sets, get into sales. Because of sales, I was able to, like, right now I'm starting like my own landscaping business. I got all my clients, I do all the phone work. And I do it all. Like, I pretty much network with other people, and I'm able to delegate my work and take a pay cut, but still make income without even being at the job site. And that enables me to trade with a more clear mind, knowing that even if my trade loses, I'm still making income right now. So I would definitely say sales is life. You've been selling since you were a baby. You were selling your mom to, like, pretty much give you food by crying. So it's like, if you can really tap into like just becoming more valuable as a person, because, like, learning sales, for example, today I was talking to a business owner. He has 50 employees, and then, like, we're making like some type of partnership about, like, how we can pretty much, like, I can offer like different employment to, like, his workers, and then vice versa. So it's like, now it's the point, like, with this phone right here, like, connections and, like, money, like, nunca falta. Like, do we have so much opportunity, but it's just about, like, are you actually ready for it? Because let's say you have, like, like 100 customers that need this service, or you have, like, it doesn't matter, but the point is, like, will you be ready? Like, that's what I want people to understand. Like, will you be ready for that time comes? If you do get that withdrawal, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna splurge? Are you gonna reinvest? That's the difference between fast money and long money. And I've always been attracted to long money. I don't care how long it takes. Like, you have to have 3-figure losses to have 4-figure wins. You have to have 4-figure wins to have 5-figure win, or 4-figure losses to have 5-figure wins. And that's just how it works. No rich, no Rari. And I would say that, like, if you can just diversify, it's gonna be so hard at the beginning. You're gonna be cramming your mind with, like, so much stuff, and you're gonna be like, is this worth it? But let me ask you this, like, is living in poverty and dying with regret, like, is that worth it? Like, no, at least try. So that's what I would say. Like, that would be my biggest tip, because there's gonna be moments where you want to quit. That's not a doubt. Like, you're gonna lose. You're gonna be like, is this even for me? Like, maybe I should just go back to my 9 to 5. Like, independent contractor in sales, like, I don't have a boss, and the only reason that is happening is because of the mindset that was instilled on me by pretty much the administration from Powerhouse. Like, I see, like, people like Krista and Neri, they have their own businesses, like, outside of trading. They have their own clients, they have their own, like, brand, which is themselves. Like, that's what y'all should be worried about. Like, like, money's gonna come regardless, but that would be, like, I could talk about it all day, but that would be, like, my biggest tip to, like, someone brand new.
No, that's super key, especially when people are coming in. I think the whole ideology and the whole mindset shift that you have to have, especially within your first year, in order to get to that profitable standpoint, and how you have to view trading and change your perspective and narrative on it, is so key. So appreciate you for that. Angie, your turn.
Okay, go off, Kevin. But for me, I have two things for you guys. When you first on your first year, for me, it's gonna be time management. I'm 18 years old. I'm a college student. I have my own hairstyling business, and I'm doing trading and sales. So it's definitely a lot, and definitely make time for everything, because everything will grow and nourish at the end of the day. So never give up on anything in that aspect. And for me, the second thing would probably be use all the resources that the academy provides for you, the stuff you for. Use it all, try it all out. There's 4 ways you can make money with this business. It could be sales, trading, investing, and sorry, strategies. Sorry, the strategies. Try all of them out. See which one you prefer better. You know, but the thing is, when you first start your first year, you should be making at least some income from this. And if you're not, then maybe you should reach out and ask for help, because there should not be a reason why you shouldn't be making some income from this if you're paying for it, you know? And that'll be it for me. And I appreciate you all.
Yeah, I think that the biggest key takeaway as well is asking for help. You know, I think a lot of people as well are very you could say like timid, you know, and I could say like one thing that each and every single one of you have in common is all of you are bold, you know, all of you have been bold since like you came in and you were like, you know what, like I know what I want, and obviously you guys are here, so we're gonna bother you with questions. So that is something that I mean you just like all of you can also take away from what Angie said as well is like yo, it's like the reason that all of them as well that have gotten to this point is because they're bold enough to ask the questions in person, like showing up to these places in person and meeting us, you know, and it's like, yo, like literally like just saying like, hey, like I need to talk to you, you know. So yeah, appreciate you for that. Bavik, last but not least.
You guys took all my points. No, but all great points for sure. I think trading is very simple in the essence of most people. So I've been in for 2 years, so I've seen people come in and out multiple times. Junior, Kevin, as they have as well. And a common trait that most people fail to do is just showing up every day, doing the most simple things, the mundane things, as some people would say. To hop on Go Live at 6 a.m. with Mike. You have someone who has massive success. You just have to duplicate it. The quickest way to success is find a mentor who already has a success and duplicate what they do. And to that point is not being stubborn, having an open mind. Like they said, ask questions. I don't care if I look stupid for a minute or so asking a question, but if that question is going to make me some money or just help me better myself, who cares? It's about who's withdrawing, not at the end of the day, not necessarily who's looking dumb asking a question. And when it comes to keep in mind, guys, something that I realized, and I learned this from a trader who's very popular in the space. Being a good trader doesn't necessarily mean making a lot of money. It means doing the right things over a longer period of time. So if you can show up every day consistently, it will pay off. And last point I want to give, Junior kind of covered this early on in the call, is not doing it just for the money. You need to have a deeper reason why, because I promise you, when you withdraw, and first, thank God I was able to experience this year, is when you're able to withdraw and you do something for your family, maybe take them on a vacation, take them out to dinner, that fulfillment is worth more than any money could buy. So have a deeper reason and you'll survive the long term. If you can give school, your job multiple years, there's no reason you shouldn't be in here for more than a year or two, especially when there's no cap on how much you can earn. And surround yourself, because your real friends are going to tell you what you don't want to hear but need to hear, versus those that kind of just want to stay in the same place are going to tell you like, yeah, go out, have fun. No, your real friends are going to tell you, get your shit together at the end of the day. And that's it for me. Pleasure being on.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, go ahead and say thank you to each and every single one of these amazing speakers and hosts that we had tonight, guys. I mean, they just shared an extreme amount of worth of value for each and every single one of you as well. And honestly, if you had something that you picked up off of this, make sure you share it out within the Powerhouse chat, tag and be like, yo, I picked this off from Bavik, from Angie, from Kevin, from Jack. You know, appreciate you for this clicking moment, you know, and to go ahead and conclude all this for today, I want to ask you guys a question. I'm just curious. I'm just curious before like we finish this off. I know that many of you have have attended. Actually, type a two in the chat if you've attended a trading workshop in any of the couple states that we pretty much have. Cool. And even the tours that we've done, right? Where we've traveled to your city, right? Now, this just came into fruition, like literally right now, as everybody was talking, you know, and here within Powerhouse, I think one of the biggest things that we always do is always look for ways where we can innovate and keep improving. So this is just a question for each and every single one of you. If, and again, this is if, because this is just supposedly because this idea just kind of came about. If you were to have one of the largest trading, you could say, I want you to envision a summit, something where every single state flies in to one place. Just one place. I'm not sure. I don't know. And all the educators that all of you watch on a daily basis or there, right? All of them, literally. And all the hosts as well that you see within Powerhouse. Like, just imagine a trading workshop on steroids the entire day. How would you guys like that? Type of 4 if you were to attend something like that. Cool. Again, this is just a question. I don't know. The idea just came into my head right now. But again, appreciate each and every single one of you. This recording will be up and live for each and every single one of you to see later on.